will talk about authorization, right? With OAuth2 Proxy. We did authentication in one of the video with OAuth2 Proxy and Azure AD with combination of Istio, right? So if you want to look, you can look that video. But in this video, we will talk about authorization. So first of all, what is authentication and what is authorization, right? So authentication is we validate user, right? So that the user is real user, right? We validate via multi-factor authentication or just some authentication mechanism, right? Now, authorization is, other hand, when user is authenticated, you want to know that if user has access to work on that resource, right? So underneath you can have APIs. Under API, you are managing some kind of resources, right? So it is important to know that uh, if user can access those uh, those resources, right? So in Azure, how we do it, we when we do the app registration, we create app role, and those app role we assign to user or user group, right? So once we assign, and if that user has that role assigned as a part of a group or as a user, the user should be able to access that resource. Now, with Istio, we can manage with external authorization. Istio support external authorization, and it has very good documentation to integrate external authorizer, right? So once you integrate external authorizer, you can leverage um, to authorize your APIs without touching your application code. So Istio documentation, they have a sampler external authorizer, but in place of sampler external authorizer, we will use OAuth2 Proxy. But pretty much configuration is same. In place of external authorizer from Istio, we will use OAuth2 Proxy. And the way it works, you have to change and add this mesh setting. Um, and once you do make those changes, you add your external authorizer service, and then you set authorization policies. In authorization policies, you will define action as a custom, which tells that we are using external authorization. And under that, you can put the rules where you will be sending your traffic and checking the information, checking the rules and all those things. It supports many kind of headers, and it has very good documentation what it supports, and you can find all those information on Istio website. So let's see how we did for OAuth2 Proxy. So OAuth2 Proxy, first thing, if you see the we have we have we have this setting where we are setting the external authorizer, right? So this is OAuth2 Proxy default SVC local cluster local. It is running on local 4180 and include headers in check, header stop stream on allow, header downstream on deny. So these things we can set. It is very easy to set all those things. When you set this thing, then pretty much you are telling that to Stitchio that we want to check authorization, but that authorization will be done by OAuth2 Proxy. Now let's see the authorization policies, right? So we have this authorization policy where we just went through the custom, right? So this is I was talking about the custom. When you define, your action will be custom, and you can see that I have rules where I am not setting with OAuth2 endpoint, because OAuth2 endpoint is the one where user is user will be asked to log in, right? If user is not authenticated, right? So this is where it goes to OAuth2. OAuth2 proxy will send to the Azure AD and will get it done. And this path where we wanna, do authentication and authorization, any static page or any, product page. So this is our authorization policy, And now let's see the other one where we are denying, right? So you will set the deny policy, right? So the deny policy is where you will look for the header, and the header you will look for the roles. So in Azure AD, I have a role for my application registration where I create roles as a read and write, and I set the value that if it is not right, then it will deny the access. So you can map your roles here. Once you map your role, you will be able to authorize user also. So this is the way we can use Istio with OAuth2 Proxy to do the both authentication and authorization. Thank you so much.